Hey, this is Gio from Giovannie the Hired Guns, and you're listening to the Arch City Music Podcast from the Barn Studio.
I'm on the road again, half drunk with a lit cigarette. I don't know when I'll be back in this town. At least that's what I tell her. Baby, I'm just saying, maybe I just think too much. I'm leaving in the AM, baby, are you saying? I know that you drank too much, and this is what she said to me. I'm just your ordinary fucker. There's nothing special about me. I still bump, but I'm more night when I get drunk. I'm just telling you, I'm not playing you. I just wanna be the real me around you. The real me around you. I'm at the same damn place. She's staring in my eyes, you know I'll give in. I'm wondering.
Welcome to the Arch City Music Podcast, live from the Barn Studio. I am Chad. I have Austin with me. Austin, how's it going?
Going great, Chad. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing real good. And I know you're excited. We're both excited about who we have on the line right now. We have Gio from Gio and the Hired Guns. Gio, how's it going?
What's up, everybody? Doing better than ever, man. Doing so good. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And you are at home right now? You have a couple days before you head out on tour, or did you get a couple days off? I know you guys stay pretty active on the road.
Man, I'm home until on Thursday, and then I'm hitting the road for another. I don't even know, man. I'm trying to think about it.
It looked like you're on the road from about Thursday till November, from what I saw.
Yeah, something like that, you know?
I was counting on your website, and I think I got you got 50 shows between here and the end of the calendar year, and I mean, that's just awesome, man.
Yeah, man. Really, really excited. I'm really looking forward to all the really cool venues that we're finally getting to step our feet into. So, be really awesome.
Well, if I remember correctly, you're starting in Arkansas before you come to the camp at Lake Wapapello on the 9th, which is what we really want to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, man. It'll be our second one on that little run that we got.
Yeah, so that's July 9th. Gio and the Hired
July
Guns.
9th.
Gio and the Hired Guns with Austin Upchurch, another guy that we've interviewed recently, and I love the mix of you two guys on that tour, just because I feel like both you guys you sort of press the limits on what I think is considered country. You know, is it country? Is it rock? Is it something else? I love that. I love that tour and that tour package.
I totally agree. I was talking to my management company about it, and really glad that we got to work out with Austin. I mean, me and him have gone out and shot ducks together, and we've gone fishing. You know, we smoked pot together. We've done all that, except I felt like playing shows, and I really dig the whole style of him being not wanting to be like stapled as a Texas country band,
Right,
is what I'm meaning in this scene that we have, and I'm really blessed on. If that's what we are to you, then fucking hell yeah, If we're rock and roll to you, then fuck yeah. If we're country to you, then hell yeah. If we're Tejano punk, whatever the hell, then hell yeah, whatever. I really dig it, man. You can't really put on what is this? Is it alternative? Is it country? Is it? You don't know.
It's all of that.
I hate labeling. I hate genres and just.
Dude, thank you. Same, man. Oh man, yeah, dude. I get interviews sometimes and I'm just like, man, I don't know. What if one day? Because I don't know. One day I'm gonna want to do a rap song or an R&B song or a corrido or a norteña song or
a metal song, right?
Hell yeah, dude. Get some fucking growls in there, bro. Yeah.
I think you can do pretty well with that, too. You got that gritty voice. I think that's part of what makes you so cool. Do you ever have you ever sang metal? Is that in your wheelhouse?
Man, no, but sometimes, dude, I like mess around. And,
Hey, we're gonna
like
get
during sound checks, and like my band, Ryan, our monitor guy, just looks at me and like he goes on his, because he has to talk back, and he's like, bro, I don't know why the hell you just don't sing like that all the time. And just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's fun, dude. Sometimes it's really fun, dude. So
Yeah, and I did see that in an interview, and anytime I get a chance to bring up metal, I'm going to bring up metal because I'm a fellow metalhead myself. But one of the things that surprised me, and I'm not sure I've ever seen this in country music, is your guitar player, or maybe both of them, play with 7-string guitars.
yes, man, they both do.
I didn't catch that. That is really cool.
They both play with metal guitars, and they are beasts of guitar players, man.
Yeah,
They're awesome. They're gnarly.
Is representing where you come from and from Texas and your background and your heritage and your is that important to you guys? Is that something you always want to be out in the forefront of what you guys are doing?
Oh yeah, forever and always, man. I take very strong pride in my roots and the heritage, and just busting your ass. Just I feel like, I don't know, my people's meaning as in raza, meaning as in Chicanos, meaning as in whatever you may call it, man. Like, I feel like we all come over here with nothing, and it may also be reflecting on somebody else that's not Mexicano or Chicano or whatever it is. Like, your father could be a hardworking son of a gun that came from nothing. That's amazing. I love that. My father was that too. And I just like to take and embrace that, because I've met a lot of friends, man. And my friends that are staying back home, I don't talk to them as much as I probably should. I'm talking to people now that have the exact same visions that I have, not only into this music industry. Like, I feel like I'm an entrepreneur in myself, man. I just have this. I have other things that I do. And it's like you find yourself with, you're only going to be as successful as you want to be by surrounding yourself with people that are successful, is what I'm meaning. I am friends with people that are, man, twice my age, dude, and I call them every other day just to see how they're doing, man. And just to learn from them. They might look at something a totally different way, or I may look at something a totally different way that they don't.
Yeah,
I think that other people's opinions matter, man. You can't be selfish and be an asshole. You got to be open-minded.
I've always been taught that you got one mouth and two ears, so you should listen twice as much as you speak, because everybody meet knows something you don't. So why wouldn't you want to learn that? Like, everything's
Absolutely.
a learning opportunity. So I love that you kind of take that approach to your music career. And
yeah, man, absolutely. And I feel, like kind of like my father. He's an oil field businessman, and he worked all the way up to him being his own contractor and company man, and like he busted his ass for as long as I remember, since I was able to remember anything. Like, my dad was always busting his ass, and like that inspired me to do stuff. And for people to now tell me after my gigs sometimes, and they're like, man, dude, like, sometimes I feel like they don't have the words what to say to me, and it's just weird because like I'm nobody. I feel like and it's weird. Like, I'm just like, dude, like what? And they're just like in awe. I'm just like, bro, like just fucking say it. Like it's okay. Like, and they're just like, man, thank you for being my inspiration.
Yeah.
Or it's always the gut punchers when they're like, thank you for saving my life. And that's why I think, because, man, I'm not going to lie, we've all been our coming from personal experiences, man, and I can't wait for this next record to come out. There's a song on there called The Letter. And, man, I remember being in a position in my mind where, I thought about that stupid shit, and it's not worth it. I'm glad that I'm where I'm at and the things that I am doing. And for me to hear that from somebody else reassures myself that, hey, dude, look at what you're doing, man. You're not just doing this just because you're doing this. God made you do this for other people, man. Like at the end of the day, man, I love, making extra money here and there is awesome. That's badass, cool, sick, awesome. But this is my outlet, and if it can help somebody else, then that's just fucking beautiful to me, man.
So, yeah, absolutely. I love what you're saying. Because of that, because you feel like your music has a bigger purpose in mind with changing lives and really helping people in maybe certain situations or when they're feeling down or whatever it is. Do you feel like an extra sense of pressure because of that?
No, man, and I also feel like people shouldn't give a fuck what the next person says about them. Like, if it makes them happy, then they should do it. Like, at the end of the day, it's you and yourself. I don't know. Sometimes I catch myself talking to myself sometimes like, hey, this is the right something to do. Yeah, because you ask yourself, because you have you and yourself. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. So, man, no, I don't think it puts any pressure on me at all because, I don't know, man. I feel like all of our fans have the same vision that we do, if that makes any sense.
Sure. Are there like mentors that you will bounce ideas off of or kind of feel like that they still steer you in the right direction or that you have questions for sometimes?
Yeah, man. There's somebody, his name is Jim Yoss. He has a band that's called the Ben Davenport Band, and they might have 2 monthly listeners on Spotify, man. And he was the first guy that really like pushed me and was in the music scene and kind of guided me through stuff. He's a little older than I am, and so I'd always ask him stuff, But the main guys that I go to for that is their name is Archie and Freddie Martinez, and they are like my brothers, man. They are the ones that, man, I used to be a drunk little fucking 19-year-old kid that was jumping from jobs to jobs, like construction jobs, because he was playing music, but he liked to drink a little. And at that time, Archie had his house and he wasn't married, and he took me in, man, and he's the one that took me to my first open mic. And I did my first open mic, and I got tipped my first $10 ever, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
did you end up framing it, or?
No, man. I was poor, bro.
Yeah.
Use those $10.
Yeah.
And but that guy, he called me over, and at the time there was this band called 6 Market Boulevard that was going around there, and to me, that band was such a big deal. And Clayton Landy was a front man of it, and he was like, "Yeah, man, you want to come song swap at at this golf course? Clayton Landy's gonna be there too. You're gonna be song swapping with him." After that, it was all, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Brandon Summerfield gave me one of my very first gigs ever, man. So
yeah, I know 6 Market.
Crazy.
Josh Sharedo.
Yeah, dude.
Josh Sharedo from William Clark Green. Yeah, he was in 6 Market.
Yeah, dude. I thought they were the hottest. I still think they're the hottest shit, man.
Yeah, I think Josh does too.
Yeah, dude. I'm sure he does.
That's kind of a cool thing too. Is he helped produce Austin Upchurches, who's your tour package guy. You're going out on the road with. He produced his record.
Yeah, man. He produced our first record. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
No.
He did, man. Bad Habits was actually Ben Hussey, and before it was, I think, Melody Mountain or whatever it's called now, Studios. It was whatever the fuck Studios. And yeah, man, we were one of their first projects. Just like, I think Green from Cody West. I don't know if y'all heard of Cody West.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
But
sure.
their album was there too, man. They got some history, bro. They got some history, dude. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. There's a whole scene down there. What's in the water down in Texas? Is there something different that's that's not in the rest of the country? Because it just seems like, you know, the whole Texas country's thing,
Yeah,
but
man.
just so many.
I think it's armadillo shit. I think that's what's in the fucking water. It's armadillo shit, man.
Yeah.
Well, if that's what's doing it for you, stay on the armadillo shit because we love what you're doing, dude. We love what everybody down there in Texas seems to be doing. And it's crazy how much of a close-knit community y'all seem to be. I mean, just the intertwined relationships between all you guys, like you and Austin Upchurch, for example. It looks like he's only about an hour away from you. You guys are touring.
Oh, yeah,
You've got all of these connections with, you know, people helping you make your music and your inspirations, and I just think that's so cool.
Yeah, man. It's nuts. I'm very blessed to be in the in the
company
the circle, in the presence of everyone that I have been blessed with encountering so far, man. I think everybody has been in my life for a reason, and it was either for a fucked up reason that I needed to learn, or, you know, a good reason. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's the only way you can look at it in life, is the person either entered your life to either fuck you up and you learn from it, or they either make you a better person, or you just have them around just because you like being fucked up. So, yeah. I don't know.
Well, like you said earlier, the people you surround yourself can have such a big effect on you. And
that's right.
When you're surrounding yourself by so many other great artists, it's going to have an effect on your music, surely. And we see that because the Texas music scene is just so cool right now, and it only seems to be getting better. So tell us about this new album you got coming out, Tejano Punk Boys. Is that right?
Yes, the Tejano Punk Boys, man. So kind of, wanted to have something loud. The cover art, it's really cool. I know everybody's going to like it. It's kind of funny, especially just because of how times are right now with politics and all that stuff. So I hope people get a laugh out of the cover art for the Tejano Punk Boys. And, yeah, man. The next album it's everything. If that makes any sense.
It does, because y'all's music is kind of everything. You know, we're talking about there's no good genre label because you're doing all of it, and so like, we can expect that from the album.
Yeah, man. Like I have a song on there, a couple songs actually that are some of the best songs I've ever written, I think. And there are one's a love story, and the other one is a sad song, you know. And but it's an acoustic. It's just a flat out acoustic drums, and you know, a little something else, a little ambiance. And then we have a song that is called "Numb" that sounds Deftonesy. So it's it goes from
it's not a Linkin Park cover, is it?
No, no. I wish, man. I wish, but no. Yeah, we do have a song on there called "Numb," and it reminds me of Deftones and if Linkin Park were to have a baby.
Oh wow,
or something like that, man.
Yeah.
There's a few songs. This next album is gonna be badass. I'm really, really excited.
So, do you guys have a release date on that?
All I could find was July. July what?
So we were talking about it, and they were like, man, we had a meeting at 3:00 with my management company, and we were talking, and they're like, listen, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, look, we can release this, man, in July, the end of July, even August. He goes, or we can wait. He's like, because your song's Ramon Ayala is about to be number 3, which could potentially be a number 1 radio hit song.
That's insane.
And that's fucking insane. And I was like, okay. He was like, well, if we waited in a couple more months, he's like, we can have a song off of y'all's next record. Possibly. He's not saying, yes, it is. It's going to be. Or there's a slight cut hair that we could get a song in there nominated to win a Grammy. So I was just like, I'm thinking, maybe hold on, see if I'm one hit a number one on the radio and release it either later August or early September, and try to do all that, man, and make some noise,
That is just so exciting because, one, I think y'all deserve it. Two, I'm sure that you would have never expected that.
Fuck
and
no.
especially not this quickly. I mean, you're, 5 years out from your first album that wasn't, that was independently released, right? Your first two were.
All of these are independently released.
Right. And that level of success independently, I mean, one, it's probably got to piss some people off, but that's a good thing as far as I'm concerned. That is a number one hit, possibly. I mean, I can't tell you how many people I have put onto your music, like, hey, you guys got to listen to these dudes. They fucking rock. And they're like, what the hell? And then it's so easy to sell people on you because it starts with your band name, which is just badass. Giovannie and the Hired Guns.
Thanks, man. You think see the whole dude? I promise the whole time I fucking have that name, I've questioned it. All my buddies are like, bro, it's so sick. I'm like, what? Really?
That's just cool as hell. And I mean,
really appreciate that.
It's so easily marketable and fun. It piques interest immediately. I mean, you can't hear that and not think, oh, I got to see what this is about. And maybe that's part of the success. It starts with you're competing against so much other music that something has to make people want to check you out, and that'll do it. That'll do it. But where did the name come from?
So man, whenever we were still riding around to venues in our pickup trucks, right? We had booked this wedding, and at the groomsman was like, "Hey man, they have this marquee sign. We want to have y'all's band's name in the video for the wedding, right?" And we were all like, at this time, I was just hiring musicians. I didn't have my band. I would just, hey dude, I'll pay you $100 to come play guitar for me. Or, hey dude, I'll give you, it was like that, contract work, right? And she was like, what do you want us to put on there? I was just like, man, dude, I don't know. And I looked back, I looked at all the guys, and one of them yelled out, man, just tell we're Hired Guns, dude, fuck him. Or I was just like, dude, Giovannie and the Hired Guns. And
you just winged it. I love that.
Yeah, dude, it fucking stuck.
You said, fuck it, that sounds cool.
Yeah, I was like, fuck it, that works. I was like, yeah, dude. At first, there's some posters out there, man, that there was Geo and Company, and then there was another one that was Giovannie and the Good Looks. That one, I thought that one sounded pretty cool, but I was like, nah, man. Giovannie and the Hired Guns is the one that stuck, man. That was the one that, because I thought about it afterwards, man, because I was just like, is that cool? And that's why I had those other different names. And, yeah, man, that's the one that stuck.
And the guys that are in your band, you've known for a long time, right?
Yeah, man, I've known for a really long time. The bass player, I've known forever, man. It's insane, man, how long I've known him. I'm saying like I've known him fucking 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
No, dude, I just feel like I've known him because we've just been through some shit together. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Me and him, he's the only original member of the band, man. I mean, we went through some fucking... I mean, we went an entire year of just making the money we made the venues we did just for an album. I remember one time, dude, we played Lola's Trailer Park in Fort Worth, Texas, and the check was like $14.17.
Why would they even bother cutting you a check at that point? Just give me a beer, a couple beers
assholes.
or something.
Like,
that's offensive. No. That's outright offensive. Like,
but and it's just like there's a lot of stuff that people don't see behind the scenes. Like they see the happy tour bus, happy, life or whatever, but there was a lot of man, and there still is, man. It's not saying that it stopped. We've just gotten better at dealing with it, or found different ways to
And you talk about
cope with stuff.
You talk about your dad and your family being hard workers. Man, I think that rubbed off on you because, like Austin mentioned when we first came on air, you have 50 shows between now and the end of the year. But there's a couple that stick out. Here in a few weeks, you're playing Lollapalooza. I mean, how crazy is that?
I think what are we in August? July?
Today's June 29th.
Almost July.
Dude, we got more than 100. We got more than 50 shows left this year.
I believe it, man. It's just, you're nonstop.
I promise. I think until December. No, you're probably right. I hope not, man. But that seems like, I'm like happy. I'm like, no way. There's only that, because that seems like not that much to me, man. It's weird.
Yeah. Regardless, it's you've been a busy boy.
Thanks, man.
Clearly, people like what you're doing.
Yeah, man. I feel like the only people that could understand the lifestyle of just moving place to place would be either like, how buddies have war stories,
Yeah.
Sure.
Like people that are in the military, how they have war stories, Like, we don't have war stories, we're not that honorable, but we have band stories, and it's almost the same thing because, I mean, what other job can you say, hey, man, I have this stories, we saw this. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Absolutely.
You just go to different places, and that's the only thing I can compare it to is like hearing a grandfather talk about an old, town in Germany that they were in, or in London or something, or, be like, oh yeah, hey man, we were at Woodstock and I met your grandma there, whatever. Or, like, yeah, man.
You get to experience so much of the world in such a unique way, and that has to be, while so demanding and exhausting, I'm sure, that has to be so very rewarding. The people you meet, the places you go, that I'm very envious of. And all just to do what you love. That's the best part.
Yeah, dude. It's very cool, right? Like, it's fun. It's super fun. It's really fun. And, you get to meet a lot of new people. You get to see a lot of new things that I never would have thought that I'm getting to see. And it hasn't stopped. Like, I'm going to see things that I've been always wanted to see. And it's insane to me that, could potentially happen, and it's gonna happen. You got to manifest that shit, man. You got to say it's gonna happen, bro. And yeah, man. I don't necessarily know what I'm trying to say, man. I'm just really grateful for fucking everything.
And it shows. You sound very genuine, and I imagine in your shoes, I would feel pretty grateful, overwhelmingly grateful, probably, but. I want to talk about just a couple of these shows you got coming up, and I think the first one in particular, shortly before, not even a week before you're up here in our neck of the woods at the camp at Lake Wapapello on July 9th, on July 3rd, you're at Billy Bob's, Texas, and that's particularly cool because that's got to be the world's coolest honky-tonk, right? And have you, surely you've been there growing up just an hour and a half away, right?
Right.
But you've never played there, have you?
I'm not going to count it. It was during the pandemic, so I'm not going to count it, man. It was all quarter staff, everything. No. So this time we're playing it, yeah.
If I were an artist, I imagine that would be up there in the ranks of places like the Ryman or I don't want to say the Opry, but the Opry or Red Rocks, just
pretty legendary.
A list of really cool places. And speaking of really cool places, after that show in the camp later in July, you're headed to Kansas City, again, near our neck of the woods, opposite corner of Missouri, but you're at the Uptown Theater on July 27th. And I was just there on June 3rd, earlier this month, to see Wheeler Walker Jr. You know Wheeler, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was a fun show. I mean, that crowd was something else. Fun people, goofy people, myself included. But that venue, the Uptown Theater, is probably the coolest venue I've ever been to, and I'm telling you this so you can be excited, but it was built and opened in 1928, this theater, in a part of Kansas City that's, I don't want to say run down, but not all that popular anymore. And
it's not as active as it probably used to be.
Right. I'm sure in 28 that bitch was popping, but now you get there and you're like, what am I going to see inside here? And I walked in and, I mean, jaw dropped. I said, what the fuck? Like, I'm far from sober walking into this place.
Beautiful,
It just blew me away. So much of it is still original.
Wow.
And, I mean, like, I'm looking up and just the architecture and the decor. It's either 100 years old or made to look as much as it did 100 years ago. I mean, that's something to really look forward to. You're going to enjoy that. But then, just a couple days later, you are at Off-Broadway in St. Louis, where I have every intention of catching you again. That's a pretty cool venue, too.
Hell yes.
You're going to love that. St. Louis is going to turn out for you. I know it. And then
I think we've played there, but I may be wrong.
I think that's where you might have been in earlier this winter or spring. I know you were here a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that would make sense because
maybe it was a winter one. Maybe it was the winter one.
That would make sense because if you played Off-Broadway, they would sure want you to come back.
Yeah. It was maybe the winter one that we did, man. I know it was a pretty rocking crowd, man. It was really fun.
Well, and then flash forward to September, you're back in the St. Louis area, a little stretch, maybe 2 hours, but Columbia, Missouri at the Blue Note, which is another just real cool venue. So that is, I mean, ruling out Kansas City in Billy Bob's. I'm going to catch you 3 times in the next couple months here, and I'm ecstatic about that, man. You're gonna see more than you care to of me in the near future.
No, man, come on, dude.
But
so that'd be so cool, man.
All your Missouri fans, they don't have an excuse because you're hitting basically every corner of Missouri, right?
Everything.
So
that's right.
If you're a Giovannie and the Hired Guns fan, you got to get out there and catch it. You definitely have to check them out with Austin Upchurch at the camp at Lake Wapapella, July 9th. And we are joined here with Gio and the Hired Guns with Gio. Man, we appreciate your time today.
Thank y'all so much. Even if you're not a Gio and Giovannie and the Hired Guns fan, just show up. Just come on, man. Just get me, guys. Y'all come check out the shows.
I imagine.
And guys, thank y'all so much for having me on here. It was really awesome.
I imagine it's going to be a party. Can you promise that?
Oh, I can 100% promise you it's going to be a party.
Well, hey, you're going to get to meet Chad and I here in person when we come see you at the lake here in a couple weeks, or just over a week and a half. Our friend Dylan is going to hook us up and get us a picture or something with you. Hopefully we have as much fun as we did tonight. We enjoyed having you, buddy.
All right, brother. Sounds good. See y'all then. All right, peace out.
I'm on the road again, half drunk with a lit cigarette. I don't know when I'll be back in this town. At least that's what I tell her. Baby, I'm just saying, maybe I just think too much. I'm leaving in the AM, baby, are you staying? I know that you drank too much. And this is what she said to me. I'm just your ordinary fucker. There's nothing special about me. I still bump like more night when I get drunk. I'm just telling you, I'm not playing you. I just wanna be the real me around you. The real me around you. I'm at the same damn place. She's staring in my eyes, you know I'll give in. I'm wondering if I should walk